Good morning and welcome to Begotten Son Ministries. My name is Pastor Scott M. I'd like to speak with you this morning, but before we do, let's go before the Lord, shall we? Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. All right, I'd like to speak with you concerning a prophecy here in Jeremiah chapter 50. And it is all about Babylon being taken and destroyed, and also it's about Syria being destroyed. It's about what's going on in the Middle East right now with the ISIS, I guess, taking over Baghdadi, the leader of ISIS, and how they are going literally from country to country, taking over the Islamic countries. And he has called for a jihad across the world. And if that's the case, then I call for a revival across the world. So let the redeemed of the Lord say so and stand up and be counted, because this is the time that the Bible has warned us about. These are the times in which we were born for times such as these. Okay, I'm going to read to you in chapter 50. This is a King James version of Jeremiah. So it starts out chapter 50, the word that the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans by Jeremiah the prophet. Declare ye among the nations, and publish, and set up a standard. Publish it and conceal not. Say, Babylon is taken. Bel is confounded. Merodach is broken into pieces, and her idols are confounded. Her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there come up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. And they shall depart, both man and beast. In those days, and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, and they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping, they shall go and seek the Lord their God. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, Come, and let us join ourselves to the Lord, and in perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray, and they have turned away on the mountain. They have gone from mountain to hill, and they have forgotten their resting place. If I understand correctly, Israel is experiencing a kind of revival itself, in that the prophesies to the rabbis, in which Jesus revealed himself to a older rabbi before he passed away, and his information is now being accepted from rabbi to rabbi and Jew to Jew in Israel right now, and this is a phenomenon that's taking place over there. And all that found them have devoured them. Their adversaries said, We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land of the Chaldeans, and be as he-goats before the flock. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man, none shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. All that her be satisfied, saith the Lord. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, ye, O destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer, and the grass below as bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Lord, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Every one that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished, and hiss at all her plagues. Put yourself in array against Babylon round about, and ye that bend the bow, shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Shout against her. Round about she hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down, for it is vengeance of the Lord. Take vengeance upon her, as she hath done unto her. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest, for fear of the oppressing sword, for they shall for the oppressing sword they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land. Israel is scattered sheep, the lions have driven him away, and the king of Assyria hath devoured him. And last, this Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, hath broken his bones. Therefore, thus saith the Lord of hosts, God of Israel, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and this land, and I have punished the king of Assyria. And I will bring Israel again to its habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and Gilead. And in those days and in that time shall the Lord in those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and they shall be none, and the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them, whom I reserve. Go up against the land of the Merathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod. Waste and utterly destroy after them, and say, the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. A sound of battle is in the land of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware, and thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. The Lord hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, God of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans. Come against her from the utmost border, open her storehouses, cast up her as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left. Slay her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation, the voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, and declare that Zion upon is the vengeance of the Lord our God, the vengeance of his temple. Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that bend the bow, camp against round about, let none of their escape. Recompense her according to her works, according to all that she hath done. Do unto her, for she hath been proud against the Lord, against Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith God of hosts, for thy day is come, thy time, that I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle a fire in his cities, and I shall devour all round about him. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their case, and they may give rest to the land, and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon. And it's upon her princes and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon their mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. A drought is upon her water, and they shall be dried up, for the land is of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. And did you know that the Euphrates is drying up right now? And the Jordan. Drying up. Therefore the wild beasts of the desert and the wild beasts of the island shall dwell therein, and the owl shall dwell there, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, neither shall it be dwelt from generation to generation. And did you know that also in Iraq, that since the rivers are drying up, that the snakes have invaded the villages, and they're biting and poisoning people? The beasts, the wild beasts of the desert. As God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide therein, shall any son of man dwell therein. Behold, a people shall come out of the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold a bow and the lance, and they are cruel, and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea, and they shall ride upon horses every one, put in array like a man, to battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. The king of Babylon, who heard the report of them, his hands waxed feeble, anguish took hold of him, and pangs of a woman in travail, as pangs of a woman in travail. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong. But I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is a chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me? Who will appoint me the time? And who is the shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that ye hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, and the noise of the taking of Babylon. The earth is moved, and a cry is heard among the nations. Now the Lord warned me about Turkey a couple months ago, and said that they will play a large part in this too, and that could be the very least of them. The smallest of the countries shall draw them out, the least of them. Okay, and then I want to tell you about I was woken up the other night, and given this from the Lord, and I wrote it down as I heard it in my head, basically. And I'll read this to you, and you can take it for what it's worth. It says, "Do not fear for your own safety. If I set your face to a task, I will order your footsteps, and then I will see the task to completion. And I will give you everything that you need to complete it. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. The hour will come when many will call upon my name, and know that I am the great I am. Terrible and wonderful things are about to be unleashed on the world. Do not fear, for your hour is not yet come. But I will bring pain and suffering on those who mock me, and some will hate me more, but some will turn to me because they know who I am. And I will call their names one more time. And if they do not answer, then I will give them over to a reprobate mind, and they will not come to know me. And the numbering of the Gentiles will be fulfilled, and then will come that swift and terrible day. Prepare yourselves, for there will be many coming to you for help. And at times it will seem overwhelming, but remember to look to me for your strength and for your understanding in that time. Very powerful words. Now, the Lord has been very careful with me not to give me visions and dreams that don't make any sense. And for the past year, I've been getting these, and it seems as if I'll get a dream and then I'll get confirmation from one of the other pastors, like Pastor Paul or Brother Marcus or someone like that, or even Brother David Langford too. And this is part of that which is coming on the earth that will give men heart attacks, stop their hearts from beating, is the wars and rumors of wars and what's about to take place. Now there will be devastation coming upon the land and upon our great nation, what used to be our great nation when it was under God. Okay? And the Lord will shelter his people. But there will be many, many people that don't know what's going on and that will be looking to you for help. So prepare yourself, because the day comes when you will need to stand strong. And in truth and in love, you will need to be able to tell people what is happening and why it's happening. Okay? God bless you. Prepare yourself. The day is coming.